I am the mutable self. I am the mighty rock of truth in the illusory ocean of the world process. The waves of love and hate, gain and loss, joy and sorrow swirl and foam around me. The raging storms of birth and death, creation and dissolution, flash and dash against me. But I am ever the same, unaffected, unmoved, the eternal Atman I am. I am the mighty rock of truth in the illusory ocean of the world process. Soham Asmi, I am that am I. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tabnamami Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Welcome, welcome. I'm beginning with just new year. Focus your mind on new year. But I'm going to give you the acronym of the new year. New year is easy to remember. But my message is New Year is not confined to just New Year's Day. Make every day your New Year day. N is now. First I'm going to be brief. N means now. E, eradicate the negative in you, the vices. W, wake up to realize wonders in your life. Don't wander. Live to experience wonder. Y, yoga. Yoga in integral. What's left is the ear. EAR. E, enter the gates of liberation. A, ascend the steps of wisdom. R, resolve to realize the self. Good acronym. Now let me turn your attention to each point. And now. This is a profound mystical implication. Human mind just moves on with yesterday and tomorrow. In Hindi and Sanskrit language, both they use the term for yesterday, kal, tomorrow, kal. Sanskrit also uses yesterday, shwa, tomorrow, shwa. When you put together, it comes kal, 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 kal. But what skips out of your mind is the present. Today. Today goes away. You're caught. One foot is caught by your past. One foot is caught by the future. Unless you tear yourself up. The present is not there. Some chal has entered into it. Chal is deceit. Kal kal chal chal. Starting with humor so that your mind is relaxed. Humor in Sanskrit called vinod. Od means to eat. Eat the juice of, the taste of. Vinay term comes from vinay, humility. When we start eating the taste of humility, things become pleasant. Even difficult things, you can handle it with a smile. Because they are not really meant to hurt you. It's a divine creation. So that's one mantra. Bring it in the present. Now, focus your mind, not to put your mind under pressure of worry and anxiety. So that way you are handling, putting all your energy in the past and in the future. That's the life of grief. One foot in the past, one foot in the future. Focus in the present and put an end to that grief. The mantra for that. Focus in the present. But make the present joyous. That's the art of life. If you are practicing meditation, doing japa, offering prayers, your mind begins to develop that art of enjoying the present. Otherwise, your mind is always looking for what experience did I have in the past. When I was playing with the toys in teenager earlier, what happened to all the joys? And what's going to happen in the future? Look at the world, where it is going. I'm joking, making you understand the point. Instead, when you are doing japa, prayer, meditation, or enjoying satsanga, your mind begins to enjoy just in the moment. And let me extend this point. Do not let your mind build up the habit postponing things for tomorrow. You learn certain technique to help you physically or mentally or spiritually. Or say, I have to wait for the next holidays. Then I will spend all my time, because this is a serious matter. Postponing for tomorrow is considered one of the worst obstacle in human life. Pramado vai mrityu. Sanat Kumara says in Mahabharata. Pramad is putting off things for tomorrow, not doing it expertly, attentively in the present. Saint Kabira said, Kaal kare so aaj kar. Aaj kare so ab. Old Hindi. पल में परलय होएगी, बहुरी करोगे कब? What you are postponing to do for tomorrow, don't do that. Do it now. Rather, the literal meaning is do it today. And then Kabira says, and what you are going to do today, start doing it now. Pal mein parlay hoegi. The entire world can be cut off from you in a single moment. Death doesn't give you a message of time. Then I'm coming, prepare yourself. But that also a simple point to understand, not to bring your mind to a kind of a sense of terror. Death is coming, I have to do it now. But a profounder understanding, all things are transient. And your life has a profound purpose. Do not slip your attention towards fulfilling the purpose of your life. And from a very practical point of view, whatever duty you have to do, if you leave it for tomorrow, then you are not a skilled worker. Then you find yourself come in the office and you find a whole bundle of things that you have postponed. The things that are coming today, you can't handle it. Push it somewhere. In a while, someone comes and puts them all in the garbage. I'm joking, but it's to understand that. So no matter what job you are doing, it's not just a spiritual teaching, it's a very practical teaching. Be prompt in handling the things that you have to handle. So that when you relax, you are not holding a pressure, I have to do that tomorrow. When you hold a pressure like some mosquitoes on your head, they're little, that keep you. So understand the importance of doing things promptly, now. Next letter is E. That's how the new word has been made, N-E-W-E. E is to eradicate vices. That's the most important point in life. Even children, you learn from the children's stage. The child comes with mud on the face. And what the mother do? Wipe the mud out. Mud is vice. And day by day, when you wake up, you have to go to the bath and shower yourself and all that. That's message behind it. You are doing that to your body. Why not do that to your mind? Why to keep the garbage inside and outside go and cleaning it? You want classical terms, remember the two terms, shauch, vahya and antar. Vahya, external shauch, how to keep yourself according to health laws and with cleanliness. That's vahya shauch. Antar shauch, how to keep your mind free from onions and garlics. I'm nothing against onion and garlic. I'm using allegorical words. If you keep in your mind anger, hate, even sadness, people generally don't understand that. That also is impurity. But don't become over sad because I'm sad. Try to look for remedy. By your own experience, one way or the other, allow yourself to be involved in something that will be inspiring. Do some prayer, read some scripture that elevates your mind, or whatever duty you have to do during the day, flow in that duty. Bring in your mind a sense of whatever I am doing is a form of worship of God. Repeat your mantra. So many ways you can try to handle your mind. Putting myself into a little higher level, eradicate vice requires to understand 3S: suppress, substitute, sublimate. Firstly, you must have a healthy mind and a desire, a spiritual aspiration that you don't want to stay pressured by malos, negative impurities. Have every right to be free, nirmal. Now then, what is the vice? What type of impurity that is affecting your mind? Let me take a simple one, anger. Everybody has. Irritability, anger. If you are applying 3S, first means suppression. When you see someone is coming and you have been angry because the person has made you wait, let me give you another illustration. Anger is coming. Close your door. Don't let the anger enter. Suppress. In other words, don't act up to your irritability or whatever stress you have built up. Don't start spilling it out. Then what should you do? Go to your refrigerator, drink some cold water. Leave behind the joke. Try to understand suppressing anger. Don't allow it to overwhelm your mind. Try to go on suppressing it. But while you suppress, build up substitute. Think of the positive counterpart of anger. Positive counterpart is love. Joyous understanding. And bring in your mind that you are born to move Godwards. So anger does not befit you. Meaningless anger. I'm not talking about it. Anger has its own role. Your child is going to touch a flame. And that time you remember the teaching. I should be angry. So, oh, my beautiful child. I will not elaborate any more on that. So, controlling anger, must understand, has its own art about it. God is ocean of love. I belong to God. I'm a ray of God. The third stage comes by itself. If you develop that art, turning the mind from negative to positive, anger suddenly vanishes and you develop a unique type of strength. It comes in different degrees. A mind feels a certain clarity. The heart feels certain expansion. It becomes a source of inspiration. So that's what I mean by the letter E. Eradicate automatically implies cultivate virtues. Eradicate vices, cultivate virtues by adopting the 3 stages: suppress, substitute, sublimate. And allow every day of your life to become joyous. The more nirmal, more impurity, vices move away, greater is your feeling about yourself. Your life brings out greater joy. Otherwise, you are not only a burden to yourself, you are a burden for the earth. That's why the scriptures go on describing when Ravana walks, the whole earth begins to shake. The third term, W, the simple message behind it: wake up. No matter how awake you are, see, from normal sleep, it is one movement, wake up. But from the sleep of ignorance, waking up to enlightenment has many stages. Even though you think you have learned everything, you awake, spiritually awake. No. you are dull with. Your eyes have not opened. The third eye has to open. As long as two eyes begin to go on broadening themselves, that's not the goal. The goal is the third eye, the intuitive vision. And that intuitive vision goes on emerging, blossoming. That's called awakening process. And how would you know that you are waking up? You will find the world presents to you a sense of wonder. And that sense directs your mind to God. See this beautiful flower. What wonder. Who fashioned it? How long did it take to bring so many little material elements, atoms, and so many things, and fashion them like that? So that's one example of wonder. And greater wonder exists for you. Let me give you in a little poetic way. When you begin to experience divine love in your heart, your experience becomes Gagar mein Sagar. In your heart, you are bringing the whole ocean. That's a wonder. In your intellect, you are bringing that intuitive vision, all is Brahman. दीपक की लौ में सूरज समा गया. The flame of the candle, the entire sun has entered. That's wonder. I will not detail too much now. The world is filled with wonder. And if you have that art and taste, then every day that comes for you is inspiring. That again, you have to understand it in an adult manner, mature manner. You begin to understand that adversity and prosperity, like day and night, both play their role in your life. So while facing your practical realities, deep down, do not lose your heart. Vipado naiva vipada, sampado naiva sampada. Adversity is not adversity. Prosperity is not prosperity. Vipad vismaranat Vishnu. When you forget your relation with God, that's real adversity. Sampat Narayan Smriti. And when your mind is fascinated by God's presence, no matter whichever way, slightest way, you're bringing to your mind, what grand opportunity do I have to be a human being? What grace has operated that brought me to satsanga? provided me the opportunity for all the Google and all the informations. I'm talking to positive type, not the negative. So allow your life to flow in a wondrous manner. That's W. New year, Y. Integral yoga. Yoga term, people always say yoga, yoga, but what does the yoga mean? Yoga means uniting your soul with God. That again is not, it's an allegorical statement. God alone is. Soul in an individual is like a reflected sun. And as if that reflected sun has forgotten its source, develop a conditioned state of consciousness. I am just within this pot. I will not elaborate that, but just its remedy of the reflected sun and its trouble. The remedy is unite yourself with the sun. You have to understand the term unite. What does unite mean? It doesn't go out of the pot, goes on jumping through the clouds and goes into the arms of the sun. All this poetic. But even the poetic picture is allowed, and it is a part of sadhana. You may imagine, I am going to God and God is welcoming you. God is the mother enfolding you. But behind that, you must understand this is the language of your sentiments. The reality is, God alone is, and you are becoming aware by removing the impediments. Mala, Vikshepa, Avarana, 3 impediments are there. Mala is gross impurity, anger, hate, etc. Vikshepa relates to subtle impurities caused by your subconscious desires. Avarana is completely in the deepest level, veil of ignorance. For removing these 3 knots of the heart, these 3 types of obstructions, great obstructions, yoga is practiced. Without going into much details, there are 4 aspects of yoga. Turning your action into a mystic process that purifies your heart. Generally, karmas that you do day by day, that again is not your choice. Even when you don't do it, you are doing more karma than when you are doing. Karma term is not just what you do, but what you don't do also is your do. There's a duty before you and you're not doing it. And that's bad. Turning karma into a process that purifies your heart. That's called karma yoga. This is a profound understanding. If you understand that, then you have gained the foundation of a spiritual movement. If you don't understand it, then your mind always creates a kind of confusion. Why am I so involved with so many works to do? Go here, go there, take the car and all those things. Why ever to do that? Shouldn't I be somewhere in a nice cave? Just meditating. But it was realized it's a big illusion. Works that you do day by day, they keep your mind flowing. And you remove inertia. It provides a tremendous help. If you don't have energy flowing in action, your mind becomes pressured by many complexes. And that's not yoga. God has created the world in such a way that if you are in tune with God's method, no matter how much work comes to you, they all become a joyous movement. You begin to realize, nimitta matram, I am just an instrument. God is working through me. Action turns into karma yoga, and that requires immense patience. When you really reach its height, that every action is a part of every experience, every action. It doesn't separate you from God. When you come to that state, you have attained perfection. But let me not puzzle your mind. It's just like you are reading Raja Yoga. It begins with yamas, things that you should not do. And the first point they say ahimsa. Now, if you perfect that ahimsa, you don't have to go through all those, the entire yoga. So, if you could bring that spirit of God performing all actions, all your actions are worship of God, you are at the height. But in order to reach that height, you have to understand 4 aspects of your personality. They must be in order, just like in music. Different suras, different strings must be harmonized. If they are harmonized, called sur. If they are not harmonized, called asur. Sur is divine, asur is demonia. So you have every day that possibility either to flow towards sur, harmonized movement, or stay with foxy music. Action relates to karma yoga. Sentiments, emotions within you, they are sublimated, cultured, spiritually enriched by bhakti yoga. The willing aspect of mind, that is brought into order by dhyana yoga, practice of meditation. And your intellect, reasoning process of your mind is brought to profound spiritual enrichment by jnana yoga, the yoga of wisdom. Action, devotion, now let me see, action, emotion, will and reason. The 4 counterparts of these in yoga Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga. In the Ramayana, all this is brought into personalities, divine personalities. Rama is Jnana Yoga. Lakshmana is Dhyana Yoga. Bharata is Bhakti Yoga. Shatrughna is Karma Yoga. They all do their jobs, their duties in their own way. End up with Rama Rajya. In most simplified form, this is what is taught by sages. Serve, love, meditate, realize. Serve, that's a part of your action. Love, part of your devotion. Meditate, dhyana. Realize, allowing your intellect to become purified. Next letter is E. Enter the gates of liberation. For easy understanding, Yoga Vasishtha has presented 4 gates. Shama, Santosh, Satsang and Vichar. Shama is serenity. Out of these 4, if you could focus on any one of the 4, the other 3 will join in because they are inseparable. Serenity. First, understand the quality. What does it mean? Serenity is when your mind has no problems. You're not thinking about yesterday, not thinking about tomorrow. And the mind is as if sniffing a kind of joy that's not coming from the world. At that time, someone says, why are you happy? Something has happened. You have no answer. That's Shama. That's the healthy experience. How to promote that in your daily life more and more, even if it were to come to you just for a short period. If you are doing practice, meditation, japa, etc., as sattvas begin to grow more within, you will have more opportunities for serenity. Another way to understand the serenity operates in allowing you to develop ability to have balanced mind. Even in difficult circumstance, how much should your mind become affected by it, that you begin to control yourself. In both cases means you have gained, good prosperity has come, keep balance. Great adversity seems to hover over you, keep balance. This point is illustrated in the Ramayana. Prasannatam yana gatabhishekata tathana mamle banavasa dukata mukhambuja shri raghunandarasya me tadastu sa manjula mangala prada. Rama's cheerful face did not lose its luster when he heard that he was going to be heir apparent to the throne. He didn't become overexcited. He just stayed the same. He listened to the father that gives him instruction, start doing certain ritual, you are going to be prince. And Rama hears it. The normal young man would say, is it so? Are you saying the truth or joking? And if I become the heir apparent, what have I to do then? I'm joking. Rama, as if nothing, it meant nothing. And after 2 or 3 days, Kaikeyi had already plotted. Dasharatha was already gripped by his word. And he says, Rama, he didn't say, Rama heard the problem and he was told he has to go to forest for 14 years, not having any royal luxury. And Rama remains the same. Rather, he highlights that, how fortunate am I going to have satsanga. That is the ideal of serenity. And no longer how long it may take, but that's your ideal. That's called shama. Next point was santosh. Santosh is contentment. But contentment, you must understand, is sometimes a person stops his self-effort. A student says, I'm already gaining good marks in the examination, and so there's no need for me to shine up in my studies. I'm satisfied. That's called mithya tushti, false satisfaction. The type of satisfaction that stops you from doing your self-effort. Contentment implies that you do not allow inferiority complex to develop in your personality by comparing yourself with others. In every field, you can compare. Here's someone who doesn't have any headache. Here's someone who is so rich, etc., so prosperous, and I have to work so hard. Instead, understand a profounder reality. In divine plan, God is not unfair. Everyone is given the exact setup that is needed for the soul to attain enlightenment. This doesn't mean that now you don't do, because he has already given. What he has given is self-effort. Allow your self-effort to operate without thinking that I don't have the resources, others have it. No, you have all the resources. Start utilizing it. A humorous illustration. Someone gives you, you're hungry, and someone gives you a plate of food. And say, oh, I've heard of so many wonderful dishes that you eat when you go through trips, visiting various places, and look at that. How unfortunate. That attitude is worst attitude. Though you have the source to nourish yourself before you, but because you do not allow your mind in the atmosphere of contentment, you are deprived of the nourishment that is being given to you day by day. and then come to satsang, next gatekeeper. I'm giving you very little because each one requires a volume of understanding. Just saying in the Ramayana, तात स्वर्ग अपवर्ग सुख धरिय तुला एक अंग तुलय न ताहि सकल मिली जो सुख ला सत्संग. Turning to satsanga, that's the greatest blessing that a human being can enjoy. But turning to satsanga, you have to understand, this is a satsanga session, but that's only one aspect of satsanga. You can create satsanga atmosphere by raising your feeling even in a forest. See all the trees, how do they grow? Birds. Allow your mind to develop a sublime feeling. That's satsanga. I'm just giving you a few points. The whole world behind you can give you inspiration. Even if you are playing with a child, and we learn from the child. Satsanga. But put it more in an advanced level, satsanga is when you come in touch with someone who inspires you to discover yourself. Yourself is Satchidananda. That understanding that you don't live for swarga and apavarga. Swarga means heavenly enjoyments. Apavarga means higher positions in this cosmos. All this end up with vanity. No matter how great you are, there is a limit to it. So that's not your goal. Because again we'll come back into this cycle of birth and death. Satsanga puts you on that track. First gives you this shocking news. Anitya basikam lokam imam prapya vadasvamam. This world is transient and there is no happiness in it. All that is you get is happiness. You see there is happiness. You run there and it hops out. So therefore, real happiness lies in attaining liberation. But where is the liberation? You are the liberation. Look for who am I. So therefore, the fourth vichar, inquire, who am I? That inquiry process requires building up an certain integration in your personality, that you can look back, turn away from your body, mind, senses. Think of what happens in your sleep. In sleep, you turn away from all this. Allow your mind to develop that type of understanding that even though you are not sleepy, you are beyond the physical body, you're beyond your pranas, beyond your senses, beyond your mind. You're using them as instruments. Just like you use your cell phone. You are using your entire body. What's this body? With nervous system, with brain. Few little centers in your brain bring you all this Google business. You are being interpreted by this nervous system. So what is being interpretation through the nervous system is not you. You are the very basis. So that basis is Brahman, the absolute. Satchidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. And in your daily life, you are driven by these three urges. The urge to exist, not only with human beings, all animals and birds, they all want to exist. And urge to know. Even your cat, your pet dog, they want to know where you are hiding their food. And then the urge to be happy. These urges are never fulfilled in the world of time and space. And until you fulfill them, your soul has to come back again and again through countless embodiments. And another shocking news, you have gone through countless embodiments. These are not imaginary things. It's not a matter that you have to believe me. This is a fact. You have not just come here out of zero. So remember this. Shama, Santosh, Satsang, and Vichar. Enter any one of these gates. Highlight it, enjoy it, practice it, at least listen about it. And next one is A, ascend the steps of wisdom. I will just give you very quick. First step, aspiration. Just like you have desire for certain things and you come to realize certain great value or some great ideal before you and you develop desire, longing. That longing should develop towards attaining enlightenment, having realization of God, darshan of God. That type of subtle longing must develop. In the beginning, it seems like a big project. But once you have developed a healthy understanding, the taste for spiritual ascent becomes automatic. Just like when you are healthy, your tongue automatically enjoys every taste that comes in the food. That aspiration. Aspiration leads you to, that's called shubhecha. Vicharana leads you to being thoughtful. Who am I? I'm not detailing upon it. In Yoga Vasishtha, you have big details. Each point will take long time if I go into details. Vicharana, reflection. The third state, tanumanasi. All the negative in you becomes attenuated, becomes very thinned out. Anger, hate, greed, pride, and more commonly ragadvesha, attachment, hatred. They become exceedingly thin. This leads you to the fourth step, sattvapatti. Your intellect becomes free. It doesn't stay in intellectual level. Intellect is like a caterpillar in intellectual level. In intuitive level, it gets transformed into a butterfly. A better example is from a crow, it becomes a swan. If that happens in the fourth step, you attain enlightenment. That's called Jivan Mukti. But that state automatically becomes more and more defined and more in a blossoming state, more perfected, automatic. The second step that comes after Sattvapatti is Asamsakti. You stay in the world, experience all things, all tragedies and comedies, but you are like the sky. And the sky has no botheration. It's called Asamsakti. Next stage is called Padartha Bhavana. The entire world, just like when you are waking up from your dream, sometimes that spirit of awakening comes while dream. You know it is a dream and you are dreaming. The dream doesn't bother you. But then soon the dream vanishes and you emerge completely out of dream. Padartha Bhavana is that state. The whole world, being Maya of God, it vanishes completely. The sun has discovered, I am the sun, and all the illuminations, they belong to the earth planet. The sun doesn't even know there is somewhere earth there. And last letter in that is R. R is, that's what resolve all this you have heard. Try to see what has been tasty in these talks. Resolve yourself to go after that. Assimilate it. When you do, future in you is coming to be bright beyond your imagination. Golden future awaits you. And with this I'm going to conclude. And prayer for all of you and prayer for all the world. May every soul attain God realization. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukum Vabandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Asato ma sadgamaya. Tamso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityor ma mritam gamaya. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om.